A delicious throwback to the 80s slasher movie Hellfest. Explained. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another thrilling horror movie review with Marvelous Videos. Today, we take a look at an awesome movie that will grab the attention of all horror fans. Have you ever wondered what a party would be like if you mixed Halloween fun with a bit of hell? Of course they don't party down in hell, but murderers have to have their Halloween fun too, right? So this movie is kind of about a killer who is going insane on Halloween night. Get ready, you are about to enter Hellfest. This American slasher film was released in 2018. Hellfest was directed by Gregory Plotkin, who is known for his amazing horror movies. You might remember him from his 2017 film Get Out. Well, following the success of that movie, the very next year he directed another excellent horror movie for all of us. The film follows the adventures of a few teenage friends on Halloween night. This movie will have you on the edge of your seat. It's freakishly exhilarating and gruesome at the same time. Now, would you believe that before shooting began, the cast got together one day and literally stayed up all night watching horror movies? The screenwriter for Hellfest, Seth M. Sherwood, was brought in after working with Plotkin on the virtual reality horror film Black Mass. Well, now it's time to get lost in a wonderful evening of masks and disguises in the midst of a Halloween party. Before we start the review though, we have a small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. It's a simple click, but it means a lot to us. Thanks so much. Now let's get this party started. Terror never felt so real. Hellfest 2018. The film begins with a look at a haunted house full of creepy crawlies hanging here and there. They definitely set the scene for an intense atmosphere from the beginning. A weird-looking guy wearing a bizarre mask creeps up on this girl who is inside the haunted house. Now, of course, the girl assumes that this dude is also just a part of the haunted house. He is there to scare her, but in a little plot twist, he stabs her in the middle of her chest and then hangs her dead body between the other fake corpses, trying to make it look like a prop for the haunted house. Now, this was just the beginning. We then meet some college best friends. Natalie, who is played by Amy Forsyth, and Brooke, who is played by Rain Edwards. They are planning to go to a Halloween fest in a town nearby along with Brooke's friend Taylor, who is played by Bex Taylor Claus. Natalie is only going because a boy she likes is also going to be there. His name is Gavin, who is played by Robbie Attal. Two of their other friends are also joining, Quinn and Asher. Let's hope that this party will make quite the mess. So basically this fest is called Hellfest. And like any other Halloween festival, this theme park is full of people wearing creepy masks, dressed up in Halloween costumes, tons of games, and obviously horrifying haunted houses. 'Cause what's a good Halloween party without a house full of scary kids trying to freak each other out, right? An interesting thing about the set is that most of the decorations which were used for making the set were borrowed from Six Flags Over Georgia's Fright Fest decorations. Now, while Natalie and her friends are roaming around the Hellfest, we get a glimpse of that same masked man from before, who is known as the Other. He is also present at Hellfest. His mask definitely has to be by far the most creepiest one ever. Natalie's group is now at a zombie-themed zone in Hellfest, where lots of people have dressed up as zombies. There are eerie sounds all over the place. It was certainly going to make them scared with every step that they would take. In the United States, Netherworld is considered among the top 10 haunted attractions. Most of the characters walking around Hellfest in the beginning of the movie are actually from Netherworld Haunted House in Georgia. In the middle of all this scary stuff, a very nervous girl runs into them and asks for help. She keeps saying that there's a masked man who is after her with a knife and he's going to kill her. Now, everyone assumed that it's just another ploy constructed to scare them. They all refuse to believe her, and then the Other appears, looks at them in the eye, and actually stabs the girl. This is all happening right in front of them, but they still think it's just an act. Natalie, however, being the smart one in the group, realizes that the girl could actually be bleeding, and it doesn't seem as fake as they first thought. Her friends just laugh it off and go away. It could be possible that the other is now onto Natalie because he signals her to keep her mouth shut. I mean, come on. He is obviously acting very, very suspicious at this point. So now Natalie and Gavin are kind of having a fun moment in the photo booth when the other just steals their pictures from outside. Brooke sees all of this and finds it to be a little bit odd.
The guy just took your photos. What?
Now, while the rest of the group have gone to explore the park and get scared, Gavin, on the other hand, decides to go alone to buy a present for Natalie. He ends up in a weird, secluded basement. The other appears in front of him and smashes Gavin's head with a hammer. His skull is crushed and he dies. Well, no surprise there. Now back to the group. Everyone is about to go on a fun ride when Natalie spots the other coming towards her. She notices that there are a lot of other people with the exact same mask as the one that the other was wearing. This was just a part of Hellfest. There sure is a lot of confusion everywhere. Now, when they go further into the next room, there are a lot of dismembered body parts lying around everywhere to scare the people. In this chaos, the group splits up and Quinn and Asher are left all alone. Quinn luckily escapes, but Asher is stuck there just when the other turns up again. He kills Asher in the most horrifying way possible. With a sharp syringe, he slowly stabs Asher's eyes and leaves him there to die as he growls in pain. Natalie tells Brooke that she was attacked in the washroom by the other and that he is possibly trying to kill all of them. They decide that it is best if they all leave Hellfest right away, otherwise they might end up dead. Natalie, Brooke and Quinn now found out that Taylor has offered to take part in a performance where she will be beheaded by a guillotine in front of a live audience. When Natalie notices the other's boots as the executioner, she tries to stop the show, but fails. After the show, the other traps Taylor, and just when he was about to chop her head off, she slips away. But it's not much longer before the other catches her and stabs her in the stomach in the middle of the whole crowd. Quinn tries to save Taylor, but the other stabs him as well. Wow, 2 deaths in a row. This sure has turned out to be a bloodfest. In order to save themselves, Natalie and Brooke try to run as far away as possible but end up in a spooky dark room where there is a laser light before every entrance which makes a noise when you cross it. So the other will most likely know where they are at all times. They decide to hide until the other eventually goes away. After he leaves, they try to find the exit, but guess what? The door has been shut and locked from outside. It can't be opened. In a mad panic, Brooke starts yelling. Natalie comes up with a plan that they now have to kill the other if they want to survive and leave this place alive. They end up in a room with the other where there are a lot of dummies wearing the same mask. Natalie hits the other so they can run away, but Brooke is injured at this point and the other hits Natalie on the head pretty hard with an axe and she gets knocked unconscious. Brooke does manage to escape from the room, but because of the laser alerts, the other is able to follow her easily. Right about now, it looks like the other is about to kill Brooke when Natalie comes out of nowhere and stabs the other with a knife. Well, at least the audience can breathe again. The police finally rescue the 2 girls from the maze, but it looks like the police tried to find the body of the other and somehow it's disappeared. What they do find is the floor covered with a ton of blood. The film ends with a glimpse into the life of the other who has managed to run off to his suburban house. He keeps his mask and the pictures he stole of Natalie and Gavin in a cabinet with several other horrifying masks and trophies from others that he slaughtered in the past. This guy is seriously psycho. Because next we see the other's young daughter who hugs her father and he gives her a stuffed animal that he happened to get from the Hellfest. The film is full of eerie and menacing effects in the air. Hellfest is like a man-made hell prison which is so dangerous that there weren't even any emergency exit signs. So once you enter, you are clearly trapped there. A place very well suited for someone like the other to successfully increase his number of kills. Now, let us explore some other interesting details about our killer from the special Halloween Park Hellfest. The other Who is he? The other, the main antagonist of Hellfest, is our infamous masked man from the film. He is a serial killer. From the last scene, it's pretty obvious that he attends a lot of Halloween events each year in a different disguise to look for victims. He was portrayed by Stephen Conroy, although we also see a cameo appearance from director Gregory Plotkin as the other when he's sitting in front of Natalie as she passes out when the ride breaks down. I know all of you are probably wondering, why does the other even kill in the first place? Well, it's not quite clear why, but judging from the trophies in his secret cabinet, it looks as though he has a thing for young brunette girls. His pattern is obvious because of the photos in that cabinet. Now, did you know the other's mask was actually inspired by papier-mâché death masks from the 20th century? Throughout the film, we see the other wearing two masks. In the beginning, he wears a bright red devil mask with short black horns. It is possible that while making that kill, he was at another Halloween party, since he wears different masks at different places. For the rest of the film, however, he wears a brownish-orange mask. The incredible design of the other's mask was by none other than Tony Gardner. He was also the one who created the Ghostface mask from Scream and Babyface from the Happy Death Day. During the entirety of the film, the other hums a song, Pop Goes the Weasel. In the very first scene of the film, when we find three girls in a horror maze at Orange Grove Community Fair, the other appears in front of Jodie when she gets separated from her friends. He begins to hum the song and follows her and then stabs her in the stomach. Her body is found among the Halloween decorations 3 days later due to the disgusting smell. The other's humming feels like an alert, an indication that he's arrived. We don't really know a lot about his early life, but from the last scene, it's pretty evident that no one at his place knows the reality of what he actually does. This psycho serial killer sure does a convincing job of pretending to be a loving father and husband at home. Looking at his mask collection in that secret cabinet, it's pretty obvious he has definitely killed at least 5 people before Hellfest and Jodie's murder, because he has 5 masks. But of course, since he killed 6 people at Hellfest, it's possible that the body count is much more than that. Oh, and guess what? All of the weapons which were used by the other in Hellfest were literally taken from the park itself, like the vendor cart knife that was used to kill Quinn and Taylor, the alcohol syringe that was used to kill Asher, and the mallet that was used to kill Gavin, as well as an axe. The other definitely seems to have a lot of killing techniques up his sleeve, since he doesn't seem to be bothered by blood oozing from his victims' bodies. I mean, that kind of man has seriously got to be totally psycho, right? Hellfest is a throwback to 80s slasher movies, and it is a job well done. I mean, yeah, sure, there are some obvious cliches in the film, but these are kind of wholesome in their own way. For instance, they give the audience the well-loved aspects of horror movies, and with such a young and fresh cast, there definitely is a lot of enthusiasm on the screen. At first, it's just a bunch of kids trying to have a fun time at a regular town Halloween park. But soon, it transforms the main characters into survival mode rush and chase. The intensity of the adrenaline rush lasts throughout the film. It's safe to say Plotkin delivers exactly what you want to see. Now don't miss out on Halloween fun from last year. Party hard and watch out for the other. Scared? Just kidding. This is why he is known for his take on the classic slasher niche. The star-studded cast is a full-on horror-devoted cast, so it makes it a movie by horror fans for horror fans. And with that, guys, we've come to the end of another breathtaking video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the like button on your way out so that we can keep bringing you more such videos. Also, comment down below which of the other's killings terrified you the most. Make sure you keep your eyes open through all the awesome kills and tricks. Until next time, stay safe and have a great day. Quick reminder, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.